All right, in this video we will be working with beads and plastic yarn. The plastic yarn that I'm using is from a produce bag because I really liked the kind of seafoam green color. I was also hoping that because it's a little thinner than the grocery bags, that one strand would fit into these smaller yellow beads. I was partial to those yellow because I felt like they looked really vibrant with that light green. But unfortunately, that did not work. And I did have to add a nylon cord that would fit the inner diameter of the beads. So you can see that nylon cord there. It, I think, added kind of an interesting texture all its own, and though it was pretty slippery, so it didn't always keep its tension in those foam notches. So I did struggle with that a little bit, and you'll see that later on. I loaded up the loom or the Kumihimo disc in an 8-strand pattern. You can find the video for that specific pattern in my library, but this is the basic steps. And I actually ended up doing a little, like about 1.5 inches with just the cord, just to see what it looked like. But you don't have to, you can just get started right away. So this is a beading needle. I bend it and use my fingernail to kind of wedge between the two steel wires and thread my nylon cord through that so that I can get some beads on there. You might want to start with only a few beads. I ended up adding too many at first, and I didn't have enough kind of room to get out of the way. So the first shot here, pretty soon you'll see that it's like fully packed, but then when I actually get started, I had to remove some of the beads so that I could shift them back and forth. So the pattern that I decided to start with was when the beaded strand was in the top right position, I would tuck one of the beads underneath and continue on with the Kumihimo pattern. So that this first one, I only did it when it was in the top right position. So you can see how it ended up looking. It's kind of spread out. There is, you can see a pattern in there, but it's pretty wide. And so this one, I ended up doing it both on when it was in the top right and in the bottom left. So here's a close-up of me tucking that bead in between the two strands on the left, and I'm holding it there with my pointer finger on my left hand, the one that's stabilizing the disc. And then I keep that, holding my finger there for the next couple of rotations, because I want it to stay there until it gets locked in. And so this, when I pull from the bottom left up, that kind of locks it in, so I won't lose its place. So like I said, this one is, I put the bead into the cord when it's on the top right and when it's on the bottom left. So here we are at the bottom left. So I do what's normal until you get to that point where you're about to pull it up. Tuck the bead in between the two on the left this time, which I'm having a little bit of a hard time with because of that tension, and then pull it up. And then you can kind of tuck those other extra beads up. And this side, you just get to lock it in almost immediately. So on the right is top and bottom putting the bead in, and on the left is just the top. So you can see it's the same pattern, just one is further apart, the beads are further apart, and the other one, they're closer together. So in this one I tried 2 cords, or 2 strands with beads, and I'm using the pattern of it. I put them in when it's on the, when that beaded strand is in the top right, and when the beaded strand is in the bottom left. Again, I had a little bit of tension issues with this nylon cord, but and for now, I'm just tying these into a knot. I'll be doing some more experimentation on how to finish them in a way that's pretty, but that's not as interesting currently to me. So here it is all finished. I think it makes a really lovely spiral pattern. My kind of first experiment was with these really large clay beads, and they did fit around the grocery bag plarn. And you can see I kind of played around with how often I put the beads in, and the middle, the thickest part, is every single cord had a bead. So every time I pulled down and went up, it had a bead that I put into it. So I don't know, I'm really pleased with it. If you want to know what's coming up, like this video and subscribe to my channel to get notifications.